What's poppin', everybody? Welcome to Popped by Culture. And tonight we are bringing you the big Mac Daddy of them all, I guess. I don't know. But we're doing the top 20. Yeah, huge. It's huge. We're doing the top 25 comics of 2025 tonight. So we're going to make people cry. We're going to make people throw chairs. We're going to laugh at people. We're going to cuss people out, that sort of thing. It's going to be a fun family night.
The fun stuff.
Fun stuff. I'm your host, Josh McDonald. Of course, I am with my main man, as always, Dolan, aka Drew, aka Heavy D, and he writes comics. How are you, dude?
I am fantastic. It's funny how a day will start off slow, and then it just gradually just gets busier, crazier and crazier without stopping. And
oh yeah.
You get to a point toward the end of the day, you're like, I feel like I missed something. I feel like I should have done something more in this area, but I've so focused on this area. But yet today was just a day that just gradually got crazier and crazier.
See, my week has been the opposite. My week has been really slow, and it's making me nervous. Like, when things, how like when things are just kind of crazy and moving at a fast pace, and then out of nowhere it's just like crickets, and you're like, that's been my week this week. But I've been going nonstop since last week. In my mind, like, just my days are thrown off. So for whatever reason, I kept thinking today was Thursday. It's only Tuesday, so that kind of sucked. But anyway, yeah, excited about tonight's show. Excited for you because Sunday you wrapped up a Kickstarter campaign.
Yep.
For Lethal Ladies, which was a great time, and we had fun talking about that. And in true Drew fashion, you have something else on the horizon, if I'm not mistaken.
That is 100% true. And this is a project that's been in the works now for over 2.5 years. It's been done in secret with Murat Michaels and Dietrich Smith and I. This is a project called Bloody Echoes. And it is a horror comic. It's going to be a nightmare novella. That's what we're calling it. But it's a black and white horror story, 48 pages. So it's going to be, like a little graphic novel. And it's one of those that Murat had this sitting there, and he wanted to redo it. So this was originally a comic book miniseries that came out over 25 years ago through Image Comics under, I think, the Tin Man, I think is what it was called. It was released under Image Comics, and Jim Thornton was the writer. I tried looking into Jim Thornton. This is the only thing he ever did. But Murat had it, and he asked me because he knew, hey, I'm the gringo who delivers, and I love horror, and I give everything a unique spin. So he asked me to give him the unique spin for Bloody Echoes, and I pretty much to give a Quentin Tarantino Inglourious Basterds approach to this. So I'm taking this, and we're gonna have fun with this crazy concept. So it's one of those that like I said, I've been working on this for so long, and a little bit of pieces here and there. And Dietrich Smith officially came on, and he's going to be doing the pencils and inks. It's going to be black and white. It's going to look beautiful, and I'm very curious to see the reception to this. I'm very curious to see what people think.
Nice. Well, as always, I'm excited for you. We do have the link for this pinned in the chat, so if you want to go sign up for notifications, you can. And I believe you said this is going live Friday, correct?
Going live Friday, and we are doing, it is official. I confirmed it with the Aaron Sparrow. We are launching Friday night on the Thinking Critical YouTube channel.
Heck yes. I'm going to take the screen share away, but it's because we have some images. So I figured I'd pull these up and let you kind of share what's featured here and maybe who the artist is behind it. We'll go ahead and start with this one here that is, I believe, a cover by Mr. Murat Michaels, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir. Yes, that is Murat Michaels' cover right there. That is going to be cover B, I believe. Yeah, it's actually Murat Michaels and Shelby Robertson. And and I think a colorist named Viral was the name. I'm sorry if I pronounced that, butchered it, but yeah, this is a very beautiful cover that all three of them
nice. We also have this cover here, and is this the A cover?
That is actually going to be the D cover for right now, because it's bringing the D right there.
Bringing the D.
This was actually done by the Jonathan Glapion. That's right.
Oh.
We're talking Batman New 52 Jonathan Glapion. And guy's a wonderkind. He's done so much for DC Comics, Marvel and Image Comics. And this is the most badass cover, in my opinion, that we've got.
Nice. 3 more covers. We do have this one here.
Yeah, this is the Dietrich Smith cover right here. The interior artist, and this says a lot about the story to come. You know, so nice. I'm not going to spoil much about it, but maybe give you a little clue as to what happens.
We're hinting at the narrative, and then we have one of the color washed block color covers here. Do we know who did this one?
That it was a Marat cover as well. This is going to be a black, and it's going to be a glow in the dark variant. So very much like that, like the Ghost Rider cover from back in the day that Mark Teixeira did. Yep. So we're going to be doing a glow in the dark variant for this.
Heck yes. And last but not least, I think this is a pretty big deal, but we're going to pull this one up.
This is a huge deal. So this was illustrated by I say the because he earned it, the Jeff Darrow. You may say, who the hell is Jeff Darrow? Jeff Darrow worked on The Matrix with the Wachowskis. Jeff Darrow worked on Big Guy and Rusty with Frank Miller. Jeff Darrow did Hard Boiled. This is a Jeff Darrow cover. This was the selling point for Marat to me, The minute he showed me he had a Jeff Darrow cover, I said, I'm in. Don't tell me anything else. That's nice. I can say I have written a comic book that has a Jeff Darrow cover.
Heck yes. Yeah, super excited for you. Excited to get this launched on Friday and see where it goes. And it looks like it's going to be a fun, wild ride there. Again, we talked about this Sunday night, but just continuing to do different things. And I think that's great for you, getting those reps, those, flexing those writing muscles that you've got there. So
getting those 10,000 hours in. Yeah.
Getting those 10,000 hours in. We do have Salty. We'll go to the comments in a little bit, but we do have Salty coming in with thank God for a longer page count. Good move. And then he also said, I have confidence that Drew will give us a better story and ending than those of our brother Ailes. Yeah. Oh no.
No, trust me. We're not doing anything remotely like that. So yeah, it's not gonna be, there's no virtue signaling, none of that crap.
He also said cover D and the color wash appeal to me, and then he added, okay, that Darrow cover is low-key awesome too.
Yeah, it's what just did. It's a low, like you said, that's a good way to describe it. It's a low-key awesome cover. But as soon as you say Jeff Darrow, it's like, gotta get it. Well, exciting stuff continuing to be on the horizon for you. And we'll keep you guys updated as that campaign kicks off and starts going. I'm sure we'll have future streams to discuss as well. And it's gonna be a good time. It's always a good time. Yeah.
But tonight, Drew, top 25 of 2025. Are you nervous? Do you get anxiety when you do these lists?
Yeah, I was going through it one final time early this morning, and I'm just like, am I positive of my placement of everything?
Yeah.
Am I confident in this? But I have my reasoning for my lists. Do we want to save that? Are we going to go over it or
no? I will say this, and we'll go over the reasoning for our list. I will say, I could come back to this list every day, and I would end up moving something around. And I'll also say a lot of times when I do these end of year lists, I try to go back and reread whatever I put in my top just to help solidify. Because some of these things I read as monthly releases, some of these I miss and go catch up with and trade, and that can create different reading experiences. But yeah, I did not get to do my rereading like I wanted to this year, so it could be interesting. But go ahead and tell me what you kind of made for your rule for your list.
So I've got a series of parameters for my rankings. Typically, it's going to come down to a matter of things: number of lists. The number of issues. Number of quality issues. On top of that, my emotional reaction to said series, and my urge to want to come back to read more.
Nice. I will say I had a similar kind of rule that I did with number of issues. I did kind of put a rule in place that unless it was designated as a one shot, if there weren't at least 3 issues and it were an ongoing series, I did not put them on my list. But I'm going to kind of give a little bit away because I know your list since I pulled the slides together, but you don't know my list.
Yeah.
You have 2 books on yours that I'm happy you have on yours because I was like heartbroken that I wasn't including them. I was like, okay, I feel better now. But no, I think because we talked about this Sunday night after the closeout stream for Lethal Ladies, and you're like, hey, so how do we want to go about this? And I just said, my goal is to talk about the comics we loved and hopefully get people to go pick up some comic books that they maybe didn't read or whatever it might be. So that's ultimately what I want to bring to the table. And we'll see. I do think we're going to have 2 audiences come and completely cuss us out, but we'll discuss that at the end of the stream. Because I think there are definitely people there that are going to be mad that certain things don't pop up. But we'll leave that a mystery until the end. I do want to go to the comments real quick and say hello. We do have Capital Video here with What's Poppin'.
Hello. Been a while, man. Haven't heard from you in a hot minute. Jeez.
I know. Happy to see you here. As always, we have Cajun Corey in the house with evening. Good evening, sir. As always, it's good to see you as well. We've got the Lyrics Leslie in the house. Good evening, Leslie. Always fun to have Leslie in the chat. We have the degenerate himself, Maxfield Von Priestley, coming in with, Josh, did you change your list? Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But the answer is yes. There was some movement. Again. If I looked at this every day, it's gonna move. Salty said, "Josh, stop picking at your list." Oh, stop picking at your list. Oh, yes, I know it's not a scab, but
and the doctor said I stopped getting so many nosebleeds if I took my finger out of there.
The doctor said my nose would stop bleeding if I stuck the tampon up there.
Hi, Super Nintendo Chalmers.
And Salty once again with, "I'm here for the cussing out." It's, look, it is funny how so many people get like outrageously bent out of shape. Almost said a different word. If you don't include something that they think should be included. And I'm very much like, we all have different tastes. I think it's going to be funny when we go through the list because there's some things we agree on and some things we very definitely don't agree on. Yeah. And that'll be interesting. But yeah, that's the fun of this too. And, kind of, maybe we might rag on each other a little bit, but honestly, I was like, good list when I was going through yours. So, final comment real quick. We do have Hangry Sasquatch coming in with, Lyrics has awesome covers. Seriously, you're not joking.
No, you're not joking. Yeah.
I have been tempted to go actually pick up covers that Lyrics did of books that I really did not like, but it's because the cover looks that good. So,
yeah, it's like you'd be surprised how many stores will have her covers on display. Up at the counter, and just how many retailers and those people who work at those stores who love her covers. And yeah, I've talked with them; they love her work.
Absolutely. All right, so I will say the slides for tonight look different. You guys are probably used to when we do the top 5 comics where each one of us have our own slide. That will not be happening tonight. We have the countdown from 25 down to 1. And you're gonna see both of our picks as we get to each number. And I say we just jump into it. Are you ready to get started?
So real quick before we start, I did want to show off something I got in the mail.
Oh shoot, I forgot. Go ahead.
So I got this little bad boy in the mail. The Death of Superman Absolute Edition.
Dude, yes. the way they package that.
So I took a little peek through this. This sucker, it's not the Tombstone version because I got to think practically, about where I store my stuff. So it came with this save for Lois from Clark, but it has like all the stuff that came with the edition when you were younger, like the news article, the Newsweek, the armband, stickers, death certificates, all that stuff in here. It's crazy.
Nice.
And there's the hardcover edition. It's wrapped in that, just this cape around it that you can remove. On top of a built-in bookmark. This is nuts. But what's even cooler, I've never seen these before, but in the back of the issue, they have from every page from issue 75, they have all the pens and inks and the pencils from Dan Jurgens. So I am shocked because I thought those were just sold off, lost to time, but no, they've got everything there in the back. And that alone is worth the price of admission. One thing that's cool is that if you ever see Dan Jurgens at a convention and he's got a commission list open, ask him to reproduce any of these pages because he does that. People pay him to reproduce pages that he's done. And like every time I see him at a convention, he's always reproducing a page from Superman 75. And he makes good money doing that.
I mean, yeah, I understandably so. So
yeah, God.
No, I forgot because I was backstage trying to pull pictures in, and you're like, "Oh, I got this to show," and I was like, "Hold on, I can't see." You're like, "I'll surprise you," and then I forgot.
Yeah. So man. Just wanted to show that off. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's definitely. There's so many good omnibus coming out right now.
DC has stepped their game up, and I love them all the more for it.
Indeed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we've wasted enough of your time. We're gonna get into the list. I have prepared myself for name calling and ridicule, but it's time to count down. So kicking off tonight with our number 25 picks of 2025, we came in with. Oh, it's not going. Hold, please. Boom. There we go. Number 25. I recognize one of these books, but I don't think I ever saw it in comic shops. So, Drew, you came in with Unholy Nightmare number 2. I was a little biased in the cover that I picked because I absolutely love this cover just because of the homage. And I came in with I think it's something that'll surprise people. Speed Racer Tales from the Road number 1. And this was a one-shot, oversized one-shot issue. Go ahead and talk about Unholy Nightmare because some people watching may not know what Unholy Nightmare is.
So people may think like, oh, bullshit. Look, hey, I wrote it. This is my series. This is Unholy Nightmare number 2. I am incredibly proud of this book. Aurelio is. A lot of people, majority of people really love this book. Everything ramps up from issue 1. And it came with the tie-in to the Golem to issue 2. And fantastic cover artists and a fantastic cliffhanger that even made Aaron Sparrow jealous. He wishes he could have used. So that's always a good thing. And comparing it to a lot of other stuff that came out this year, I'm like, you know what? This definitely deserves to be on the list at number 25 compared to what I've seen.
Nice. I welcome it. I'm okay with it. We'll allow it. I think it's I think you should be proud of the stuff you work on. And we always kind of talk about, what you're trying to do with your comics that the big two aren't doing, or what a lot of comics aren't doing, because there are a lot of comics that just aren't getting it right. But happy to see yours here. So I came in with Speed Racer Tales from the Road. This is a oversized issue focusing on Racer X. And if you think this is part of the terrible Mark, oh crap, why can't I think of his name now?
The greatest comedian in the history of comics, Mark Russell.
That guy, Mark Russell. It is not part of his series. This is completely separate, and it's written by Mark London, and the artist is Sebastian Perez. And look, I'm going to tell you, it was a fun read, but the art for me is what made this book for me. If you ever want to have an idea of how they should do Speed Racer or any type of racing book to make it feel kinetic and energetic, because it's easy if you are showing the cars trying to race, but it can still feel static. But there's also plenty of fluid motion when it's showing panels of them like inside the car driving, and the way they show like shifting gears or stepping on a brake and then punching the gas to swing the car around. Like the art was fantastic. They used great colors in it as well. I went into this book expecting nothing, read it, loved it. It ended up being my number one pick for that month that it came out for top 5 comics. And it's just kind of sat with me ever since, that I was like, why they're not giving this team the just regular Speed Racer title or the regular Racer X title blows my mind. But
because they're not as funny as Mark Russell.
Oh, yeah. Of course. But no, great way to start the list tonight. We do have a rock on coming in with Jamin D. And then we also have Grizz MD coming in with Gotta Bet on Yourself. So I agree.
Absolutely. And hey, all I got to say is that cover, I was there at New York Comic Con when Frank Guzin sold that cover. Yep. Guy bought it.
Yeah. The original art for the cover, correct?
Yep. Yes, he did. Guy bought it. And I couldn't be prouder of the guy. And Frank actually gave me the prelims for it. So I got the prelims for the cover on my wall, which I'm very, very proud of. Actually, I'm sorry, it's not this cover. It's the other. Oh, I'm sorry. I have the prelims to another cover Frank Guzin did. So we're keeping that under lock and key until issue 3, which is in production right now. We're over halfway through on the art, and it looks amazing right now. But
I will confirm. Yes, it does. For both the main issue and the backup.
Yes.
I love it. We also have Max coming in with the only joy I have in life is giving you a hard time about your list. Well, I expect nothing less from you, Max, but we love you all the less. All right, we're going to move on to our number 24 picks for 2025, and we are coming in with Drew has Youngblood in his number 24 spot, and I have Batman and Robin. Drew, explain yourself. Youngblood?
Yeah, Youngbloods. It's been 2 issues so far, but I got to give it to Rob. He's doing a majority of the work here, and both issues have been fast-paced, action-packed, kinetic, crazy. And issue 2 gets even crazier by introducing even more Extreme Studios characters. Like we get the Supreme family in, and more. I think even more will be coming into the subsequent issues coming along. But it's wild, it's fun, and I like it all the more for it. I don't know what to expect.
Nice. I came in with Batman and Robin because this was a book that I didn't. When they first relaunched the title with the number 1, it was Joshua Williamson and I can't remember what the artist's name was. Simone
DeMeo.
I think so. I think so. I'll have to go back and check. But I didn't like the art. It did not work for me, and I kind of just was like, all right, this book isn't for me.
You didn't like female Hush? You didn't like Shush?
Hush. Gosh, of course the female. Never mind. That's for another time. We are not talking about that. But there's a period of time where Philip Kennedy Johnson took over, and it completely slipped past me. I missed it. I didn't know, and it was pretty much not until the end of the first arc that someone pointed out, like, "Yo, Batman and Robin's killing it." And I'm like, really? With that art? And they're like, no, it's a new team. So I came into this late in the year and had to play catch up. It started off fantastic. On the back end of the year, it wasn't quite as strong. There were some strong issues, especially that one with Clark and Jonathan. John coming in.
Yep, good issue.
But I would say even this Memento arc was pretty, like, it feels kind of almost like a staple Bruce and Damian arc. But what I really loved here is this idea of legacy that Philip Kennedy Johnson is kind of writing about with Bruce and with Damian. And I feel like he catches their relationship really, really well. Damian has grown quite a bit since we first saw him. And it's nice to see this kind of growth and development and him accepting a lot of what Bruce stands for as Batman and really taking it on. So I gotta say, I was surprised at how good this was, and it's the first of probably many Batman titles you'll see tonight. But it was a good year for Batman. We did have Salty. We had Salty come in and say, "Gotta say, big nope on Youngblood, either number 1 release," and I bought the online sign exclusive. It's all right.
Oh, hey, there we go.
Yeah. And then yes, Simone DeMeo.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you ready for number 23?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So coming in at number 23, we've got Absolute Wonder Woman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Drewski, go ahead and talk about Absolute Wonder Woman.
So Absolute Wonder Woman, there have been issues this year that have been absolutely drop dead gorgeous.
Yep.
And really good. There have been others that have just been, what the effing F am I reading? What is this? It just so inconsistent, so crazy. Just There's been no consistency in the quality, unfortunately. But like I said, the issues that have been really good have been really damn good. And but it's got to be coming back somewhat, kind of, to see what happens. But I'm still peaking. But so yeah, it's still it's on the lower end of this year.
Yeah, I will say it's a little uneven, but I feel like when this book is on, it is on.
Yes.
And you had the two or three issues with a fill-in artist that were just incredible, and probably some of the best looking pages in a comic book that I've seen all year. Like it was just cinematic and blockbuster and intense. And I put this cover for a reason because I really thought this was a fun issue too, where she's in the labyrinth and so there's Yep. And I will say probably some of the best stuff that I've read from Kelly Thompson.
Yeah, so. It honestly, hands down, it is the best stuff of her career so far.
Nice,
in my opinion.
I came in with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by Jason Aaron, specifically picking up with Juan Ferreira took over on the art because the relaunch kind of infused a nice little life, but it was a slow burn to start because you had an issue featuring each of the turtles, and then you kind of jumped in with the arc. But man, kind of really came in with an interesting story. Did some I would say out there things and concepts, especially with how they approached Master Splinter, even their approach with Donatello concerning Master Splinter. But I thought this was a great work. When we were reading this and covering it each month, we kind of kept talking about how this run in particular is probably going to get collected and live on shelves for a while. And I think that's something you're going to see me talk about a lot tonight. I think we have a lot of runs that are going to have an evergreen presence on comic book shelves, and this is one of those. But the big win for me here is Juan Ferreira's art. I don't think the Turtles have ever looked this good, and the Turtles have had some really good artists, but he just made this book look fantastic. So
yeah, you think back to like a lot of the classic artists who worked on the book in the late 80s, early 90s, like including Dave Sim and Richard Corbin. They did a great job, but those are all two issues. That's it.
Yeah.
Juan Ferreira did every issue. I'm fairly certain, all 12.
Yeah, I think once he started, when he came, he didn't do all 12 because
he came on at. Okay.
I think he came on at like 5. Issue 5 was when he started. Because the first 4, they had a different artist for each issue.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
And then he came on once the Turtles all got back together. But when he started, he did the run. So
yeah, and again, he knocked it out of the park. Yeah,
agreed. We've got Salty coming in with getting TMNT #1 signed by Aaron at Emerald City Comic-Con in March. He also added that he stopped Absolute Wonder Woman after issue 5. No regrets. I will say I was with you. And I went back to check some issues because of us talking about them on Floppy Drop, and there is genuinely some really good stuff in there. So I was quick to poo-poo it early on for more than one reason, but no, it's she's doing some good stuff in that book. And Hayden Sherman on art, even though I don't think it's as good as what he's doing in other titles, there are times when I understand why he's there and what he's doing. So. And then yes, Juan Ferreira. We got JK in the house. Hello, but Juan Ferreira seemed very passionate about that run. I have talked to Juan. I don't want to say known as in like we've been like buddies, texting all the time. But Juan was doing a lot of DC work when I first started writing for Batman News back in the day, and he was always super kind. He did a lot to try to like let us get exclusives or interviews or whatever it might be. But he's just a really good guy and extremely talented. So, All right, we're going to move on to our number 22. So the number 22 picks for 2025 is The Batman Second Night, and I have Aquaman. Drew, this is one of the ones that I'm glad you picked because I didn't put it in because of the stupid rule that I gave myself. Only 2 issues have come out so far this year, but it's a beautiful book and a fun story.
Correct. That's why it's kind of lower on my list. There's only been 2 issues so far, and it's been coming out, I think, every other month so far.
I think so.
Yeah, and it's only going to be 3 issues, which is just like, okay, sure, I'll take it. But the 2 issues for this run, this second volume, they've been flipping terrific. This issue 2 was it's what I wanted from the entire run this whole time, and I could be happier, but I'm pretty damn happy. And like I said, if we had 3 or more, it'd be much higher on the list. But with 2, it's good in the 22 spot.
Yep. And for context, this is pretty much it is a period piece. It's taking place in the 40s. Is that
right before World War II.
Okay, yeah. And what this second volume is doing is it's expanding the universe. We're bringing some other DC characters in, which you can actually see them here. But if you're like me, you may not realize it just by looking at the cover. And then when you start reading the issue, you're like, oh, well, that is Clark Kent and Lois Lane. So it's really doing some cool, fun stuff. And then, of course, you got, Scarecrow coming in, which is also pretty awesome. I came in at number 22 with Aquaman. This is one that I kept kind of floating all over the list because I have a lot of fun with this book. I still feel like it hasn't fully hit its potential, and I don't say that in a bad way. I say that in the way that I feel like it's building. Look, this is a book that I'm having a lot of fun with. Jeremy Adams is writing this. If there's one thing that Jeremy Adams has proven, it's how well he knows these characters in this universe. We've got freaking one of the Wonder Twins in this, and you would think this makes no sense at all, but it works. You've got him meeting with Captain Nemo. You've got the fact that coming out of Absolute Power, Arthur now has the ability to control water, so he's become even more badass. And it seems like it's building to something that could be kind of a game changer, but we'll see. I love what he's doing. I hate that more people aren't reading this book, which is crazy to me. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's very ballsy and bombastic, and I definitely think you should go pick it up if you're not.
I agree.
Drew agrees. There might be a reason why Drew is quiet.
That's all I'm saying. I agree.
We do have Zach's in the house. Good evening, sir. Thank you for popping in. It's nice to see you. And let's see. We got some cheers. Oh, so it looks like Aquaman is the only title that Salty is collecting from DC right now. So hell yeah.
Very nice.
Good for you, Salty. You're one of the ones back in that. We got to get Aquaman's readers.
Good for you.
Good for you. Is that the Christian Bale freak out?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I think I played the dance like techno remix for you guys in Dallas one time. Anyways, we're gonna move on to Aquaman is well written, but also yes, I should say that the art is fantastic in this as well. That is on me for not mentioning that, but and is it Bruce Timms? Is that
no, John Timms.
John Timms. Yeah. I was like, that doesn't sound right. But yes, fantastic art. We're going to move on to our number 21 picks for 2025. So coming in at number 21, we have Hyde Street and Space Ghost. Ooh la la. I love Hyde Street, and I'm going to let you tell us what you love about it.
Yeah, I love High Street. I love the art. I love this concept, this Twilight Zone-esque approach to comic books that they're doing in this, pocket town called Hyde Street, and these different colorful characters that are collecting souls. Each one is special, unique, and cool and weird in their own way. And we got some introductions of some new characters this year, including the Frankenstein monster character, which was awesome. And Ivan Reis has done a lot of the art. He hasn't done all the issues, which has been disappointing.
Yeah.
And they've been on a little bit of a hiatus recently, which is kind of disappointing. And that's why it's kind of lower on my list because it hasn't come out for a while. But and Ivan Reis hasn't done a majority of he's done a lot of the issues, but not all of them. So that's why it's lower on my list.
Yep. Fair. We will allow that. I came in with Space Ghost. Space Ghost is a book that I'm really loving. And I think part of the reason it's I think I have this lower than I did last year. And the only thing that I can say for my reasoning of that is that I feel like the first volume, those 12 issues, I felt like were hyper focused. This volume doesn't feel as focused in terms of like a driving plot, but it's still been a lot of fun. It's incredibly good. Jonathan Lau.
Yeah.
Yes, is killing it on art. And much like I said, I thought Kelly Thompson's giving her best work with Absolute Wonder Woman. I think David Pepose is giving his absolute best work on Space Ghost. Look, if you haven't read this book, go start with the first volume, read it. It's 12 issues in an annual. It sets everything up here. The story continues. It's equally as good. We're kind of branching out into other plots that can come in for later. But yeah, this is a bombastic superhero book, and I'm worried people aren't giving it the shot that it deserves because it's maybe not a Marvel or DC book, but it's better than a lot of what Marvel and DC are doing. So,
and maybe they're expecting Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Oh, that too. Yeah, it's definitely
sure,
it is,
which doesn't help.
No, I mean there's a lot of heart in this book.
A lot of action.
Yeah.
It's the exact opposite of Space Ghost Coast to Coast.
Very much so it is. It is. Moving on to our number 20 picks. We are coming in with Flash Gordon and Rook Exodus. I am behind on Flash Gordon, and that is why it's not on my list, or part of the reason why it's not on my list. So, Drewski, what's going on with Flash Gordon? Why should people be checking this out?
Flash Gordon's been fun. Will Conrad, just like with Ivan Reis, hasn't done a lot of. He hasn't done most of the issues. He's been on and off, which is kind of disappointing. But we've gotten to a fun story arc here where we're introducing a parallel universe with a Flash Gordon crossing over to another universe where he is like in the Ming position where he's the galactic ruler, and it's been fun seeing these two Flashes swap spots on their Earths, and things are coming to a head pretty soon. But the art has been kind of, like I said, kind of inconsistent, and it was kind of confusing at first with the Flashes when they crossed over because there really was no difference. You could tell who was who, but I think they kind of fixed that in the subsequent issues. So it's good, and it starts being the number 20 spot.
Yeah, I read through the first 6 issues, that first arc, and I had way more fun than I thought I was going to have with it. We've even talked about this, that, had you told me, 2 years ago that a Flash Gordon book was going to come out and I was going to love it as much as I would have been like, you're stupid. Who's going to be excited about Flash Gordon? But again, Jeremy Adams coming in, doing a banger of a job. It's a fun story. He doesn't waste time with this book either. He just throws you right into it. So you hit the ground running, and it's one of the ones I need to catch up on. So had I had more time to try to get this pulled together, this very likely may have ended up on my list. And then, hey, we've got Salty coming in with Flash. Flash Gordon has been really fun. So, absolutely. I do want to say Rook Exodus for me. We've got Salty coming in with, whoa, Rook is low. I kind of expected that here. Here's what I will say. I love Rook Exodus. I think if there's any series or title that's in Ghost Machine that's just made for film, I think it is Rook Exodus. I think it is the idea of what a blockbuster book should be. Part of the reason it's so low is I think we've only had 3 issues total for 2025. I think it picked back up for October, November, and December. And while they've been good issues, it's kind of kicking off the story again and ramping up momentum. But it's a great book, and I love the character that they introduced, Stag. He's a badass. I can't wait to see his backstory. But yeah, beautiful art by Jason Fabok, a wonderful story by Jeff Johns. I will say that the blockbuster feel of it kind of sometimes make it feel like it doesn't have as much depth or character as I would like. But then you do have moments where it shows. And these guys, as wardens controlling the creatures, our main character, Rook, and him with the crows, there's some really nice moments there. So if you're an animal person like I am, there's a lot to like here. Let's see. We've got JK coming in with both great books, though the art would edge Rook Exodus over Flash Gordon for me. I mean, look, Jason Fabok is one of a kind. And that's part of the reason we're having delays. But I would say the delays are worth it for his art and his consistent art. We also have Cannoli Sasquatch popping in. What's up, dude? Nice to see you. He said, hello there. Rook Exodus is so good. Joshy, I'm reading the Spectre Omnibus by Ostrander. Phenomenal so far. Bro.
Yeah, you know what's funny is that I was watching John Delarose, and he's an interesting guy. That's all I'll say. But he was saying how he and Richard Meyer are saying, like, oh, the Suicide Squad run he did, it's so amazing. It's the greatest thing ever that he's written. It's like, I was just like, whoa. Let's pump the brakes on that. Time out. His Suicide Squad run is good. But if you want to read something truly phenomenal, you got to read the Spectre run. I mean, the Spectre with Tom Mandrake, it is nothing compares to that, what he's done.
Agreed. It's been one of my favorite things for a while now. Like, and I'm glad the Omnibus is out because I think they did 2 volumes collected, but they never actually did the full series collection.
Correct.
I've just been waiting.
Yeah,
so
it was
finally
crazy.
We got it.
Yes, what was crazy is that the price the secondhand market is charging for that first trade paperback was more than the Omnibus, which is ridiculous. Wild. Yeah,
that to me, that's your sign that people want this. So please put it out.
It reminds me of I know people look this up. This is true. That Peter David Incredible Hulk Omnibus, Volume 1, that first volume of the Omnibus. People are charging anywhere between $400 to $800 for that one first volume.
That's wild. Salty said that all sounds like some coffee. I think he meant to put something else because he put ignore my chat dictation, fucked it all up. I didn't ignore it. Sorry. Drew, you ready to move past and go get into the top 20 now? Move past number 20. Coming in at number 19, we have Green Lantern and Green Lantern. I laughed when I saw this happen. I was like, I thought I made a mistake, and I was like, wait. So I went back and looked at your list, and I was like, 19. Yep. I was like, wait, did I do mine wrong? 19. Oh. I will let you talk about this first because I wasn't reading this, and you started loving the hell out of it. And I was like, shit, I'm missing something. I got to catch up. So go ahead and talk about Green Lantern.
Yeah, Green Lantern has been really solid. And the art, our team has kind of changed on and off. It's been like Zermanico and oh God, what the hell's the guy's name? I can picture him because he's like 6'7", tall guy, incredibly talented artist, but great guy. And but there were some crossovers with the other Green Lantern title, which I am not a fan of, which is not that good, and did not really want to read those. Was forced to, but yeah, it's good. It's really good. It's getting better. I just wish they had some more consistency on the interior art.
Yeah, I think that is a fair assessment. One of the things that I loved about this is even though it did some crossovers with the other Green Lantern book, it wasn't bad. It was fine at first. It got bad when Jeremy stepped off. But you essentially have this event that's confined to Green Lantern, isn't interrupted by shit, isn't interrupting other shit. It was a lot of fun. You've got all the lanterns in play. I would say this is one of the first times that I've had characters like Teen Lantern and JoJo Mullins where they didn't drive me absolutely crazy. So kudos to making that happen. I'm a big Kyle Rayner fan, so I'm happy that we're getting some spotlights with him there. And again, it's Jeremy Adams understanding this universe that he's working in, because you have an issue where the Spectre shows up and it's a hell of a lot of fun. You have an issue where it's the Manhunters, I believe, that appear for a little bit. It's action packed and brutal. And then you've got other characters like Superboy that are here and doing stuff too. So it's just all encompassing, a lot of fun. And then you start dealing with the spectrum of the Lantern Rings. And I've said time and time again, this is the best Green Lantern has been since Jeff Johns left. And I mean that. It feels like a natural continuation to the lore that he set up. And I think it's a great, great book. So go check it out. Going on to number 18, we are coming in with G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, and Aliens versus Avengers. So, Drewski, is this the G.I. Joe that's part of Energon?
No, this is the other. This is the OG G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, still written by Larry Hama. And art, it's been interchangeable. It's been mostly Paul Peltier on the art. And Clay Mooneyham comes in now and then, which is, once again, disappointing. Like Green Lantern, you wish there was more consistency on the art. I wish Clay Mooneyham was doing as many issues as possible, because this would be much higher on the list. But once again, just inconsistency in the art. But the story is good. You know, it just you just tell he's gradually building something here. He's building. He's raising the stakes. Like we're seeing. We're typically in each issue we're getting like POVs from like 3 different parties. Either it be like the Joes, Cobra Commander, the Serpents, and it's just seeing what their power plays against each other. And so yeah, it's right there. I think it's right there where it belongs. It's good, and it's kind of got me wanting to come back for more. Not as much as certain other comics.
Look, it's been a fun series, and we've kind of talked about how this whole Energon G.I. Joe universe started up, and Larry Hama kind of took that as like, okay, we can play ball, and really upped what he's been doing. So, and I agree with you. Chris Mooneyham on the art, when he's on, it just clicks. Everything about it just falls into place, and that's when it's Rockstar. So, great pick there. I picked Aliens versus Avengers. I don't think it's a perfect book, but I will say I had way more fun with this book, and I thought it was way more intense than I expected it to be. I think it's a fantastic looking book. And I think part of the fact that it just completely caught me off guard, because so many times when I see these Predator or Alien or whatever it might be, I'm like, oh God, here we go.
Yeah.
And I thought this was actually really well done. Again, moments that I thought could have been better, but if I remove myself from those moments and look at it overall, I thought they did a hell of a job. Jonathan Hickman coming in, not being too Jonathan Hickman-y, I guess is the best way to put it. Because he could have easily been his like boring self, I guess. You know, like I'm gonna try to get every intricate detail into this and discuss all these other things. Where I'm like, bro, nobody cares. Give us some aliens fighting some Avengers, and you have some good deaths here. So.
I'll say this: if there was one more issue in particular, if the number one issue was we see the fall of humanity, we actually see it. If we saw that in one issue, I'd be like, yeah, this would be on my list. But we didn't get that. It's more, it was glossed over. And,
it was.
I was not a fan of that.
It was very much like a prologue. This happened. Here you go. And if they would have had, because I think this is only 3. I mean, they're oversized issues, but I think it's only 3 issues. Had you gotten the prologue has an actual issue and then 1, 2, 3, this would have been epic and would have been honestly much higher on my list. So, and we're going to move on to our number 17 picks for 2025. So coming at number 17, we have the Infernal Hulk and Hyde Street. So Drew, I'm just going to say this is the other book that I was really excited you put on your list, because I think 2 issues in, I think Infernal Hulk is freaking incredible. And I wouldn't be surprised that if it stays at this quality, if it's in my top 10 for 2026.
No, I agree. And like I said, I got my metrics, and it's only been 2 issues, which is unfortunate so far. But the art has been flipping phenomenal. Nick Klein once again killing it. I'm hoping he stays on for every issue of this. And the story so far, I flipping love it. The second issue was terrific. Hulk versus Namor down in Atlantis, loved it. And I think at 17, with that balance of the art, how many issues, quality, I think 17 is a good spot for it.
Yeah, agreed. But so the quality in 2 issues is so high that I was like, am I gonna break my rule? And I was this close to doing it. And then I saw you had it, and I was like, I'm gonna not break my rule. I'm gonna let Drew own this, but I am gonna back it wholly and completely. For my number 17, I came in with Hyde Street. I have a lot of fun with this book, and part of the reason I have fun with it is I don't come in with expectation, if that makes any sense, like of where I expect the plot to go. So I don't find myself getting let down because I'm wanting something to happen and then it doesn't happen. It's kind of out there and fluid enough that you're going in and out of different characters and things are happening. But you get a lot of different genres and tones with this book that it keeps it feeling fresh. There's weird stuff, there's creepy stuff, and then there's really cool, funny stuff, like with Pranky here, that I love this character because he's such a little shit. But I keep going back to that issue where it was kind of like the throwback of horror, and you started off and you had like the monster cereals that come out for Halloween, their version of that. That issue was so flipping good. And it was Jeff Johns and Ivan Reis just having a lot of fun with the book. You get Pranky going out in the woods with there's a werewolf involved, and Matt, like it's just so good. And then we do have a question here. Do you like the Hyde Street spinoffs? I think they're solid. They're not as good, but they're fine.
Yeah, they're fine.
I guess I would say I'm not fully sure why they had to do it as spinoffs instead of just having elements in the book. If I feel like you could have some of those elements in just the main title and it would have worked better. But yeah, we'll see. But no, super happy with Infernal Hulk here. Hyde Street, I think it's a lot of fun. I've said it before, but I think Ivan Reis is doing some of the best work of his career when he is on the book. So that alone is worth checking it out. Coming in at number 16 for 2025, we have Rook Exodus and Feral. So I talked about Rook Exodus, so you go ahead and talk about Rook Exodus.
Yeah, I love Rook Exodus, and the last few issues, this new volume, if you will, this new it's been terrifying personally for me because I am utterly petrified of spiders, which is funny because hey, but you write a comic book series about a guy who turns into a giant spider. Yes, I'm letting out my fear into my damn comic. But how he illustrates all the spiders, the spider deity, I forgot what the term is for the guys who are
the wardens.
The spider warden. Yeah, it's just like no, I can't do it. It terrifies me. And
super creepy.
Yeah, super creepy. It's very great. It does a great job setting the tone for the book. And but it's a little lower because, like you said, it's only been I think 3 issues so far in this latest run. But I think 16 is a good spot for it.
Yeah. I will echo your creepiness with the spiders because you have to keep in mind these wardens, they are controlling the animals. So if you get all the spiders in a central location with where you are, and then people come to you, you've got thousands of spiders just right there. Yeah, craziness. For my number 16, I picked Feral. Feral, I think, has been one of the most consistent books hitting stands. And I think it's one of the most universal books. I say this all the time, but I'm part of a book club at my local comic shop. So we meet twice a month to discuss a graphic novel. And Feral is one of the titles that I think literally everyone is picking up and have on their pull list. And we all have a variety of different interests or opinions when it comes to books. So that's a testament to Tony Fleeks, Trish Forstner, and Tony Rodriguez for what they're doing here. I am not a cat person, but this is a hell of a lot of fun. The cats that are here are fully realized characters. Like each one of them have their own presence, and I think it's just a fun book. some of you are probably going to go, hey, this is a little low on your list. And I think part of this is, I think the strongest stuff that came out in 2025, in my opinion, was earlier in the year. And then I felt like it wasn't quite as strong at the end of the year. But the beginning of the year is when you're in the old lady's house and she's kind of the horror and crazy.
Those issues. Oh, man.
Unsettling, creepy, disturbing. And you still get that in these later issues as well. But for me, it was just so intense. For me, it was so intense during those issues that I was like, I don't even know how to feel about this, but it's fantastic work. And then I picked the cover with my boy Mush here because he's freaking awesome. But yeah, it's a fantastic book. It's a fun book. And if you're not reading it, you need to add this to your list. We got Cannoli reading it. He loved it, or is loving it, I should say. So a lot of fun. Go check it out. Drewski, you ready to enter the top 15?
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right, coming in for our number 15 for 2025, we have Geiger and Geiger.
Wow.
I'm just gonna throw a spoiler out there. This may not be the last time we see this happening. Go ahead and talk about what you're liking about Geiger.
So I'm liking how one, this is feeling much more like Geiger is feeling more like a hero in this run as compared to the previous two runs, where I don't know, because if you read those first two runs, I really feel like those are overpraised, and that's just my opinion, because the story, it is dark and depressing as shit, and Geiger really isn't a hero, and the art is fantastic, but I'm just like, what the fuck am I reading? But here, it really feels like Jeff Johns fixed the glitch, and he really made Geiger more of a hero. And not just that, but we're getting an expansion of the universe here, and we see there's a female version of Geiger, and we think that she may have a cure for him, but she has ulterior motives, and things get blown out of proportion, if you will, and things are getting even crazier now. The art, once again, it's so Gary Frank, when he's on, he is on. He hasn't done every issue, which is unfortunate, but when he's there, it's fantastic. Paul Peltier, once again, another great fill-in artist. He's done a solid job. But yeah, it's another one that's got me consistently coming back more as compared to the first two runs.
I'm gonna echo what you said about the first volume, and then like the first trade of this current run. That I told you before, I just feel like something is missing. And you're right, it was just kind of depressing and woe is me, and it was good, but no one wants to come back to that month after month after month after month. And then I feel like it was around like issue 9 of this run where there was almost like a switch. I think it was like 7 or 9, somewhere around in there. You felt like a shift. There was a switch. And that, to me, is when this really started picking up steam and momentum. And I agree with you. He's becoming more heroic. I think the interesting is becoming more compelling from a plot perspective. So it's almost like kind of leaning more into its plot and less into like characterization. I just think it's they're finding their footing, and it took them a while. And that's not to say that the beginning was bad. It wasn't. It's just you have to be in the mood for it. But I feel like they're kind of finding a good balance here now. And I'm with you. I'm loving what they're doing. I think it's intriguing, and I can't wait to see where else they take this title. So, all righty. Coming in at our number 14 for 2025, we have Nemesis Rogues Gallery, and I picked No Man's Land. So go ahead and talk about Nemesis Rogues Gallery. I did not include this, and on a previous stream that I did with someone, I cheated and just put Nemesis and included both of these because I'm an asshole like that. But tell us about Rogues Gallery and why did it top or make your top of 2025?
So I love what Mark Miller's doing. 1, 2. He works with the best artists in the biz, and look, in my opinion, clearly about Valerio Giordano is not a popular opinion. I feel like he is a fantastic artist, and he does a terrific job selling the emotions of people. When I say that, it's when you look at the character's eyes. He does a great job of conveying fear, anger, horror, terror, insanity with the eyes. That is so hard to do. A lot of artists can't do that, and he has mastered it beautifully. And not on top of the eyes, he's a beautiful craftsman. He's a beautiful penciler. Case in point, he's doing the Kickstarter with Mark Miller with the Dragon Roll book that they got. And I couldn't be happier. And I really, I'm selfish. I wish we got more Valerio on Nemesis, but who knows? Maybe something crazier will happen down the line. But so yeah, this run finished up this year. It didn't start, but it finished. And yeah, I thought this was a solid run. We introduced the Nemesis sidekick, which was hilarious, with a great twist at the end of it. Yeah, this was a solid recommend all the way through.
Look, I'm gonna back you on the art for sure. I mean, the story itself was a lot of fun, and they do some crazy things here. And I remember reading this, and at first, when we were getting towards the end, we were like, it's gonna depend on how they end it. And Mark didn't let us down. But Valerio, I'm with you. I love his art. I kept saying that it reminds me of ACO, who did this art for Midnighter that I have right here. But the eyes, man. And you mentioned like the terrifying aspect of how he draws eyes. Holy mother of Jesus. I think it was like page 2. You get a shot of Nemesis eyes. And I was like, that is terrifying.
I mean, look at his eyes on this cover. If you look closely, look at the eyes on that cover. Look how that angle. He's mastered it. And it's just when you see that, it's like, I want to work with this guy because he does a great job of conveying those emotions. It's hard. It really is harder than people think. It really is.
Agreed. I agree. I came in with No Man's Land, and this is a book that was kind of on my like end of the year. I hadn't read yet, but I'd heard good things about and knew I needed to get to. So this might be one of the ones that are hitting me with a recency bias, or maybe the fact that I read all 4 issues kind of back to back all at once. But this, one. So the art here is freaking fantastic. So this is God, I can't think. Simon Kurdansky. It's a murder mystery that takes place in Antarctica, and there may or may not be Russian ties to it, but beyond that, there may or may not be demonic ties to it. And the art was freaking incredible. I was intrigued with the story. I was kind of captivated by it. I was going along with it. I enjoyed the mystery of it. It is unsettling, and that's a nice way of putting it, but it's unsettling at times. But man, the art here is, I think, the real winner. Like, I don't know. I'm not super familiar with Kurdansky. I know that
he's done a lot of Spawn stuff. He's done work with Stephen Niles.
Okay.
A lot of image work.
So I know I'd heard of his other book, Blood Commandment. I never read it. I heard that it was beautiful as well. But
let's just say he's a beautiful storyteller, but sometimes his dialogue and pacing during the story isn't the best. But
so I will say there were times reading this that I felt the dialogue was a little stilted, but I honestly couldn't tell if it was for effect, and it kind of worked in that way because you have a detective that is essentially retired, or he's about to retire, and this is his last case, which I know we get that all the time. I get it. But it kind of had that little bit of a slant to it. And I was like, okay, I felt like this was for effect. So I can see that. But yeah, surprised the hell out of me. I thought this was going to end up being one of those books that people were like, oh, it's great. And I read it, I'm like, yeah, it's fine. And then moved on. But I was actually quite shocked with it. So check it out if you haven't. Coming in for our number 13 picks for 2025, we have Redcoat, and we're taking everyone down with this. So I'm going to let you talk about Redcoat, and I might be saying some stuff about it later.
Yeah, I love Redcoat. In my opinion, it is my favorite of the Ghost Machine books because I love history and I love alternate takes of history. And Jeff Johns is playing with both here. So there was one fantastic issue that dealt with the burning of the White House, and I thought that was masterfully well told. And other ones dealing with people on their deathbed, or whether it's Redcoat meeting the Northerner, I think was his name,
Yep.
the new character introduced, and the stuff that's going on with George Washington. It's been a fun, wild read. And Brian Hitch, once again, I'm fairly certain he's done every issue. There may have been one. He's done every one. And I got to give him kudos. Brian Hitch, he's not a spring chicken, and good for him.
And the art looks fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And it has me coming back wanting more and more. But there weren't that many issues this year. So if there were more this year, it would have been significantly higher on my list.
Fair. Completely fair. I came in, this was another book that I came late to. So I read the first issue back when it came out, and it topped my list for that month's.
Josh, I'll be right back, Josh. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, go ahead. And it topped my list for that month's top 5 comics. And then I just, I don't know if I just forgot about it or didn't get to it, but it was one of the ones that I knew I wanted to circle back to wrap up the year. And it is We're Taking Everyone Down With Us. And it's written by Matthew Rosenberg. And if you told me that I was going to have a Matthew Rosenberg in my top 25 list, I would have said, you are a liar. How dare you? Just because I don't typically love his work. And that's, I guess, putting it nicely. But I thought this was a hell of a lot of fun. It is a situation where you kick off the story and you're with your protagonist, or I guess you assume it's the protagonist, and it's a father with his daughter, and he's trying to protect his daughter, and people are trying to kill them. And then you eventually learn that he is actually a villain, and she is learning this as well. And there's all these factions of good guys that are out trying to stop him and the bad guys, but he's actually dead, and it's just robots that are impersonating him and protecting her. But such a good book. It was a lot of fun. It balances genres really well. It's got elements of horror. It's got the main element is almost like a spy element. It's got elements of horror. It's got it deals with really intense scenes. Then it's got a lot of levity at times where you can't help but just laugh at like the people that are coming after this girl and the robots that are protecting her. But it's balanced incredibly well. And just when it's like, I think I have it figured out, they'll kind of do a shift and go a different direction, and it takes a different tone, but still feels true to itself. And yes, the ending was definitely unexpected. So Kaiser, I say that because Kaiser's coming in with the unexpected ending was cool. I agree. It kept me on my toes while reading, and that's not always an easy thing to do. So, but yeah, he said it's pretty good. So nice. Drewski, ready for the top 12?
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it. Coming in at 12, we have Space Ghost and Nemesis Forever. I talked about Space Ghost earlier. Go ahead and speak your love for the book.
Yeah, I'm loving Space Ghost. It's been fantastic. Jonathan Lau, once again, we're seeing as my list gets higher, you see that there's more consistency in the art and the quality of the storytelling, as well as subsequent issues coming out. And that's what we get here with Space Ghost. Great quality in the art, great quality in the writing. Every issue, like an issue coming out every month at least, and it's been an absolute blast. And David Pepos is gradually expanding upon this universe and getting great villains here, and even greater things are yet to come for Space Ghost. And one of the best issues, one of the cool issues that came out earlier this year, was we got to meet the first femme fatale in Space Ghost history. Someone that a hot babe, the Catwoman of Space Ghost, if you will, that met him when he was younger. And it's been fantastic. And it has me coming back each and every week wanting more.
Nice. I put Nemesis Forever here. Look, I love Nemesis. I think he's a fantastic character. I love how irreverent he is. And this book did a really good job of, I think, balancing the story and kind of bringing in new elements here. I think if you put on paper what happens in this book and the focus that we give to a secondary leading character, which is, I would say, the CIA agent,
Yeah.
I would have been like, oh God, no, Mark, don't do this. You're falling victim to what everyone else is doing. But he doesn't. And look, I think the thing that makes this book so great is Nemesis as a character is so deliciously evil that he's doing some of the worst things ever. And I can't help but grin while reading it. And I don't know if that means there's something wrong with me or what, but this book is so much fun. It's also violent and gross and irreverent, but uh, Mark continues to just knock it out of the park with Nemesis. He knocks it out of the park with pretty much everything, but with Nemesis in particular, I feel like that is his bread and butter. Keep just driving this character. I had concerns about how they were dealing with the identity of Nemesis because that has a big part to play in the story, and it worked out really, really well in the end. So much kudos. This honestly probably could have been higher on my list, and yeah, I don't know. It's great stuff. So let's see. Salty came in and said Redcoat was a solid pick, and he said we're taking everyone down with us, number one, but didn't read. I would highly recommend read the full issue though, because I feel like I remember when reading the first issue, I got a little weight because they're oversized issues. I think I got like 20 pages in. I was like, I don't know if I'm feeling this. And then by the end, I was like, bro, I'm sold. And Salty put the monthly decision on which awesome Space Ghost cover to pick. Oh gosh, these Space Ghost covers, man, just month after month after month are fantastic.
I mean, you get your pick. You get your Murderer's Row. You got a Jay Lee. You'll have a Bjorn Barons. Mm-hmm. You have I think it's what the hell is his name? Bettina. I think he does covers too. It's like you get your pick. Who do you want? Yeah. Which superstar?
And I feel like it's also rare when you have both A covers and variant covers that are just as banger as these covers are.
Mm-hmm.
So kudos to Dynamite Dynamite always does pretty damn well with their covers, but yeah, like, these covers should be helping this book sell more units than it is.
Yeah.
Moving on to number 11, we have The Sacrificers and Conan the Barbarian. Drewski, what is the Sacrificers book, and is that a Bird Warrior on there?
That is a Bird Warrior there, and it's amazing when you think about the journey this character has made, the growth, if you will, of in every regard of this character and what he's come to. And so this year, there haven't been that many issues that came out this year of the Sacrificers, but I will say the last two that have come out have been so damn powerful. Yeah, that this is a solid pickup every damn week now. It is one of the first one I'm grabbing because whenever I discuss these issues with Wes, I do the absolute very best I can to not spoil them because I want people to enjoy these. It's just the last one that happens. We do it's a 30-year time jump.
Yeah,
after the events of the previous issue, and you're left wondering that character, like, are the decisions I made that long ago the right decisions today? Did I do the right thing? And it's a great quandary. And I love Rick Remender in his storytelling. The series has picked up, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it's a terrific artist too. But if there had been more issues of the quality of the last two, it would be, once again, much higher on the list. But it's a number 11 already. And that shows you just how powerful the last recent issues have been.
I will leave it at that. And coming in for my number 11, I've got Conan the Barbarian. And look, I don't know what else to say at this point about Conan the Barbarian. We've had, 3 years now of Jim Zub writing this book.
Wow, 3 years.
I think we're going on 3 years. We're in its third year of him writing this title. Listen, the thing that I hear the most when I talk about how much I'm enjoying this book is, oh yeah, I don't really think I'm a Conan person. Yeah, bro, I wasn't so much of a Conan person either, but I am now. And I think a lot of that had to do with Robert De La Torre's art starting off, but it's been consistently good since. I think there was a 3 or 3-issue, 4-issue arc where I was like, this is the weakest it's been, but it was still fine. And that ended last year, and I think there's 1 or 2 issues of it starting off this year. But Jim Zub, the passion he has for this character, the knowledge he has for Conan, the love that he brings to this book, like you feel it. Like this guy is so passionate about what he's doing here. He keeps getting incredible freaking artists to come do this. Their books are action-packed. They stay true to what Conan should be. Like he's not trying to give us this modern day version of this modern take on it. He's like, no, this is Conan. This character was successful and popular for a reason. I'm going to do the exact same thing. And it just month after month after month, it's a banger of a book.
Yeah.
And it's, go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. I'll hush.
Okay. And I was going to say, like, sometimes I think we can fall victim of when things are consistently good. It just becomes the expectation. We're like, yeah, but that should be saying something. This is consistently that good going into its 3rd year. It's wild.
Yeah.
So love what they're doing. They're expanding to do other titles and spinoffs and characters. It just all kind of got delayed because of the whole Diamond situation. But, I can't wait to see what else Titan has in store for us with Jim Zub kind of helping maneuver these machinations around. So,
and we're getting, I don't know if you read the news on Bleeding Cool, but we're getting another Conan series. Ablaze is doing they're bringing back their Sumerian series.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like, oh my God, we're getting dueling Conan books. This is wild.
Hell yeah.
That tells you how good Conan is right now.
Agreed. We've got Salty coming in with I've got Sacrificers #1. We'll read. Good. Man, so I will say this. It was on our top list for last year. And then you're right. There was a break here. I think it went to like March or April and then had a small hiatus and picked back up in like September or October. But yeah, definitely worth reading. I'll share more maybe in a little bit. Conan F yes, my dude. Yeah. I'm sure someone's gonna come in yelling it's too low, and I get it, whatever. But that someone is Maxfield Von Priestley, but Conan can't always be #1. Mm-hmm. And then JK Conan, so good. Yeah, look, these comments should be telling you, Kaiser Jose, I was never a Conan guy until now this really is making me feel like I put it way too low. So whoops. And then Salty said, gonna have Zub sign all the issues that came out since last February. Not a joke. Sword and Conan. Bro.
No, good. He loves it. Jim loves that.
Yes.
And there have been times where at conventions where beforehand we'll talk about, we'll talk. We'll meet up because we've talked several times, but he can't leave the table because he's so damn busy signing so many damn Conan comics. So You're not the first and you won't be the last.
at all. And if this book has meant something to you or it's resonated in a certain way, share that with him. If a moment resonates with you, share that with him because he's put so much thought into so many small details of this book. One of my favorite convention memories is him at Dallas Fan Expo talking about this book right after he got the award for the work he's doing on Conan, and like it just. For him, it was an incredible weekend, an emotional weekend, and yeah. Cole coming soon as well. Dude, I'm so excited for that too. Oh, I can't. Yeah, and then he really knows his Howard lore and rewards the original Conan book readers bigly. I love it. Mm-hmm. And then JK put, I'm so not the target audience for Conan, but love it. I agreed. I think that's kind of where I fall in with it as well. So, all right. Drew, it's time. We're moving into the top 10. Deep breaths.
Here we go.
We haven't been cussed out yet. No one's called us posers or chuds or anything like that. So
no,
maybe the night will end well.
Mayhaps.
Mayhaps. Coming in at number 10, we have Feral, and I put Resurrection Man, Quantum. Oh shit! What's it? Quantumania.
Dude,
I literally almost said Quantum Leap, and then I almost said Quantumania, and I wanted to shoot myself for saying Quantumania. go ahead and talk about Feral. I know I talked about it. I picked more of a horror cover for you because I know this is what you love is horror, but I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, I love horror, and this has been a fantastic series. You know, zombie story with cats, and I hate cats, but Trish and Tony Fleeks have gotten me to really care for these cats, and I love this new arc. They've found this PetSmart, if you will, and they're hiding out, seeking shelter, but. Hey, you know what? Getting shelter there may be a cost. There may be some dangerous secrets, some deadly secrets, some nasty secrets about this place. And even if you overthrow who's in charge, are the ones that you want in charge really the right people for the job? Those are questions you got to ask, and those are questions that will be asked when you read this book. And I love it for that. Every character is unique in this. There's a great amount of horror and comedy because they both really equally go hand in hand when you're telling a story. And I love this series. I love this run, and it's been consistent across the board. Trish and Tone been on every issue. How about that? And it's always going to be in the top 10. For as long as it's going to be, as far as I'm concerned.
Nice. Kaiser came in with, I submitted my cat for keyboard cats. Has your cat made it? Max's cat Gideon has not, and he's still being a little bitch about it. I'm kidding. He really is being a little bit about it. I came in with Resurrection Man. This is a book that I was reading when it came out, and look, I have a love-hate relationship with Ram V. There's stuff that he's done that I think is fantastic. There's stuff that he's done that I'm like, oh my god, it's boring. And there's stuff that he's done where I'm like, bro, this is so pretentious. This pushes that line of being pretentious. And I read the first issue, loved it, read the second issue, I'm like, oh, here we go. and then 3 through 6 for me really kind of like focused back in. And I'm gonna say, whoever's idea it was to say, we're doing this as a mini series, it is 6 issues, that is all you ever get, or that's all you're getting. They deserve the award here because it kept him from being too Ram V. But Resurrection Man is a cool character. I wasn't that familiar with it. I picked up some of the previous runs to kind of get a vibe, and he feels so much more unique here than he does in those original runs. But this is a character that gains the power of whatever killed him. And for this run, he just dies of natural causes. So he dies from time. Therefore, he has the power of time. And it really gets into some trippy stuff. He gets an enemy that is very similar in some ways to him. And there's a lot of cool use of some fringe DC characters in this book that I wish we could see more of. So one of them is Phantom Stranger. Phantom Stranger has a nice little role throughout this. But he just does some really interesting stuff. He has some complex themes that he throws into this. It makes you think. It's not too much, though. So if you do like some deeper, more introspective comics, this is the comic for you. If that's not your thing, this is definitely not the comic for you. I'm torn on the art. I think it's beautiful. It's crazy and trippy and like fluid and all over the place. But there are times when I feel like I want it to be a little more focused, and it's not, and that kind of hinders it a little bit. But yeah, crazy shit happens in this. So if you didn't check it out, go check it out. This is actually I think the B cover for that first issue. But my God, that should be the trade cover right there because it's beautiful. Let's see. So we have Sacrifices and Feral are the tops for me. Just amazing books, and I have no idea where either book can go. Fair. And that was not a finger. I don't think I've ever seen you here, not a finger. So welcome. Thank you for coming in and participating in the chat. We love talking comics. Kaiser put no, and I'm hoping my cat does make it. He passed this. Oh, okay. Send it again and put that in there. See if we'll get some love. Sorry for your cat, man. Look, I can't imagine. I'm a dog guy, but it's the worst when I lose one of my babies. Salty is telling me to never disrespect a man's pussy cat. Josh. Fine, Salty, fine. And we have JK coming in with I need to try Resurrection Man. Look, just make sure you're in the mood to read something that's got a lot of layers and some trickiness to it. That's all.
Yeah, that's a good way. Yeah, you need to be in the right mood for that book.
Correct. There were a couple of times where I tried picking up to read it, and I'm like, I cannot read this right now, and I'd move on. All right, going in for our number 9, we have Batman and Deadpool. I'm a little shocked, Drewski. And we also have Batman Dark Patterns coming in on my list. So go ahead and talk about Batman and Deadpool.
So Deadpool Batman came out earlier this year. And I'm not going to say it was an unmitigated disaster, but I'll just say
sucked.
Yeah, it sucked. It was not good.
It was not good.
Yeah, in every regard, from the story to the art. And but here, I had low expectations for this, even if Grant Morrison was writing it. But imagine my shock. I had an absolute blast reading this book. I was laughing. I was enjoying it. Grant Morrison actually made Deadpool funny. Go figure. And there are so many great references to the Amalgam universe. We even got Dark Claw in this. Spoiler alert. They had funny great times breaking the fourth wall, bringing up the Deathstroke jokes. This was so much fun. And Dan Mora did the art for this. It's absolutely beautiful. And this was how it opens, how this universe, how they cross together, how it opens like these two otherworld entities having sex with each other, which brings these two together. It's like, yes, you got me, Grant. So because you could tell Grant is having fun in the absurdity, and thus I'm having fun in the absurdity, and it was an absolute blast, and I've got to recommend it, and it's going to be this high because I have such low expectations after the previous issue. So if you guys didn't read this, do yourself a favor, pick this up. You are going to laugh.
I will agree with you 100%. I came in with low expectations and had so much more fun than I thought I was going to have. Grant is another writer that sometimes needs to be reined in, and he kept himself reined in from the Grant Morrison-y things, but also like as completely out there as like knowing the history and lore of these characters and going back and pulling some deep cuts and making it work. And I actually laughed a couple times at this. But if it's not in the plot, visually, there are so many Easter eggs and callbacks and just nods and winks that it is very much a love letter for both of these characters. And kudos to them. I picked Batman Dark Patterns, and this is one of those books that I wanted to reread and didn't get a chance to. But month after month, as these issues were coming out, I kept praising the hell out of this book. It feels like that gritty late 80s, early 90s throwback to the Batman books. I kept referring to how it reminded me of Legends of the Dark Knight when you'd have those kind of short stories all throughout, just by quality creative teams. But this book did a lot of really cool aspects. It's a 12-issue run. It's broken up into 4 3-issue arcs, but they do connect and tie together at the end. But there is one arc in particular, and it's the one that I have showcased here, Paradolia, that is so good. And it's just the way look, Dan Waters' scripts and story, good to great. Hayden Sherman's art in this, so freaking spectacular. Like, I can't praise the artwork here enough. The perspective, the angles, the layouts, it's mood. Just great work. The mood, this whole thing has a vibe. This whole book has a vibe to it. And after how bad pretty much every Batman book was last year, we needed good Batman this year. We got it. I'm so thankful. But if you missed this or slept on it, the collection should be coming out before too long. Go buy it. Do not wait. Go buy it. Go buy it. And if I had reread this, it probably would have been much higher on my list. So I'm feeling kind of bad and self-conscious right now. But anyway, Corey, good night, sir. Get some rest. We will see you soon. All right, moving into our number 8 picks for 2025, we have Conan the Barbarian and the Sacrificers. Drew, talk about some Conan.
Yeah, you know what? I flipping love Conan. And I would say, for the first bit of the year, it was good. They had fill-in artists. It just felt like it wasn't hitting those high notes that the previous issues had with Roberto Del Torre on the interior art. But the last 3 or 4 have really, really stepped up in their quality. And the last one I absolutely loved, and probably my favorite issue of Conan this year. because of the action, the humor, the suspense. It was just fantastic, and the quality for Conan has stepped back up after these 3 issues. And like I said, the previous issues this year were solid good, but the last 2 or 3 or 4 were just spectacular. And I can't recommend Conan enough.
Agreed. I'm coming in with Sacrifices at number 8. I'm going to echo a lot of what Drew said earlier. This book and especially these last 2 issues that have come out and what happens and what takes place and how they ended the previous arc and then move into this arc. This is the second time jump we've had in the story where we've kind of moved forward pretty quickly. And what I really, really love about Rick Remender here is I love when writers really explore consequences, and that's exactly what he's doing. And he's laying into it. But man, just the kind of what you were saying, like this idea of jumping 30 years ahead in the future and then looking back on, did we do the right thing? Did we make the right decision? Would a different path have? Like when you start contemplating that stuff, I've said multiple times that Rick Remender for me, he either completely knocks it out of the park or he just doesn't for me. This is one of those where he knocks it out of the park. And yes, I'm sad that we went half the year without an issue. But my God, what we did get was so freaking good that it had to be on my list. So came in at number 8. But yeah, if you haven't read it, go pick it up. I think the first 4 volumes are already collected now, so it's easy for you to access and catch up with. So catch up and end this run with us. Alrighty, coming in at number 7, we have Aquaman and Redcoat. So Drewski, I will let you take it away with Aquaman.
I'm loving Aquaman. Aquaman is one of the best books at DC Comics right now. And John Timms is born to draw superheroes, and he was born to draw Aquaman. And this epic adventure we got with Aquaman, dealing with the blue and the otherworldly gods he had to fight and trying to get back, and the twist with coming back, and these new powers he's got, as well as the tie-in with DCKO. It's just been an absolute fun superhero wild ride, and like you said, I think that the best is still yet to come with Aquaman. And I echo our friend Wes's sentiments that it's just a matter of time before they slap that absolute label on Aquaman. I guarantee it's going to get on there, because this should be selling so much better than it is currently.
Yeah,
it is truly one of the best, if not the best book from DC Comics.
Yep, great book. And I will say that the DCKO tie-in that they did with Aquaman and Hawkman has been the best issue of DCKO, period.
Yep.
By far. So I came in with Redcoat. Look, I've been singing the praises of this book for a while now. For me, this is the most fun that I have with any of the Ghost Machine titles. Simon Pure, for me as a character, is just it. As a character, he's become one of those, when you have those like TV shows that you watch over and over and over again, because the character is just encompasses a little bit of everything. You get a humor, you get action, you get some comedy, you get some heartfelt moments, and it just becomes that kind of like comfort blanket. That is what Simon Pure is as a character for me. And then you've got all these really cool, fun adventures. So you've got the Northerner coming in. You have Annie Oakley, like in the first volume, we had Johnny Appleseed and George Washington. Like all this stuff comes into play where it's just this fun take on Americana and folklore, or American folklore. But they are doing such an incredible job. And every time that I start to think like, yeah, it's fun, but it needs a little zip or something there, they will hit you with like a gut punch of an issue. And you're like, yep, that did exactly what I needed it to. And I'm
like the Washington D.C., like the White House burning issue. Yeah. That was that one.
And then even this kind of revisitation to going back to a different time that's later than the main story we saw with oh crap, why can't I think now? E equals MC squared.
Einstein.
Yeah, sheesh. String brain, guys. We got to see a young Einstein, then we got to see Einstein in future. Yes, he's in the stages of life, and now we're going back to a young adult Einstein. Like this book will just keep you on your toes. But my God, it's such a pleasure to read. And you mentioned Brian Hitch's art, fantastic work. The guy is incredible, and just so much detail and life in his pages. So can't recommend this enough. Kaiser is saying, of course, it was the best KO issue. It's Jeremy Adams, and I could not agree more. They should have just let Jeremy write the event, honestly. Moving on to number 6, we have Nemesis Forever and Batman and Robin Year One. So, Drewski, talk about Nemesis Forever.
Nemesis Forever, it was a wild ride. It was so much fun. Yeah. Matteo Scalera, terrific artist, and this whole time reading the series, you're just wondering, is Nemesis going to get away with it, or is this this fun and interesting secondary character? Is she gonna take him down? Is she gonna get caught? And that all comes to a head. We find out at the very end of the issue, and in true Mark Miller fashion, we get a great ending, one great final page, and I absolutely loved it. And this is honestly, Mark has done a lot of great stuff, and to me, it doesn't get any better than Nemesis. Every time he touches Nemesis, it is the best he brings out. I mean, his space stuff doesn't touch it. Huck is great, but doesn't come close. The Jupiter's Legacy is fine. The Magic Order is really good, but Nemesis, you can just tell he is having fun, and he's enjoying it, and I'm having fun for that. And I highly encourage, if you guys want to read a wild, crazy time that feels like a Joel Silver movie on crack, this is it.
Nice. I came in with Batman and Robin Year One. This is another one of the titles that I read towards the end of the year and all at once, so I didn't read it month to month. I did read the first issue when it came out, and I remember making the comment like, yeah, it was good, but we've got Dark Victory, we have Robin Year One, we have Batman the Gauntlet, which is Robin's first night out on his own. So I felt like it was a little repetitive. I really didn't see what Mark Waid could bring to the table that would make this feel different. I will admittedly say I was wrong. This book is such a joy to read. And when you've got a young Dick Grayson as Robin, like, you're going to have a lot of fun moments, and it's here, it's in this. But you also get a lot of introspective stuff, and you don't always get that with Robin, Dick Grayson, or Dick Grayson as Robin. But this picks up 3 weeks after his parents have died. And it balances out real life kind of scenarios, like, Child Protective Services, making sure that Bruce is a proper fit to be the adoptive parent of Dick. You've got Dick still actually trying to come to terms with the fact that his parents are dead, but he's trying to be the happy-go-lucky kid. It goes a lot into just the similarities of these two, but the differences of these two. It goes into there's a lot that kind of plays into the code that Batman sets forth and what he lives by, and going into the no-kill rule. And not to say that Dick is a violent kid, but almost just the wondering, like, of how do you win when you have so many people out there that are evil. So it just balanced fun and lovable, and then action-packed, and then heartfelt, and gut punches in the right moments. But then it does some freaking great stuff with Clayface. And the way that the book ends is just action-packed, intense, and a great addition to the early years of Dick Grayson's Robin. So loved every page of it. This is another one that I think is going to become evergreen and live on shelves for a really, really long time. It lives up to that Year One moniker, but is a fitting tone for it to have a young Dick Grayson as well. Kaiser put Nemesis is indeed forever, indeed. And JK put, I would have had Junji Boz Boy Wonder on my list. Did that come out in 2020? Did I that may have been a miss on my part. I had a lot of fun with that book, exploring the Robins. So, all right, Drewski, we're moving into the top 5 to start wrapping up the night. So coming in at number 5, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in G.I. Joe. So go ahead and talk about TMNT.
TMNT, Loved it. Juan Ferreira, once again, every issue was an absolute banger he drew this year, and the best the Turtles have ever looked. And I got to give Jason Aaron credit. I was expecting the absolute worst from him. But the more, as the series progressed, the more I saw what he was doing. I'm like, okay, I dig this approach he's bringing here. I dig what he's doing with Donatello. At first, I was very, very, very skeptical. So I didn't like what he was alluding to, but as things progress, I'm like, oh wait, there's more to this. And I'm like, how about that? I was shocked. And he made them actual heroes. Now, the last issue was a little heavy-handed, in my opinion, but it still had a solid conclusion. It was an absolutely solid run. And, I got to give him – it was an issue. It was a series that I look forward to every month it was coming out. And because it was so low in my expectations, it's that much higher on my list as well. And the quality is fantastic. Yeah, TMNT, it deserves to be number 5.
Nice. I came in with G.I. Joe. This book has been a hell of a lot of fun. And it's been an interesting year the way they paced the story, because we started the year off, I think, with the Beachhead issue.
Oh, no. that Beachhead came out when we were in Dallas.
Yeah, that's right. So we actually finished the first arc at the beginning of this year, and then we had, I think, the Beachhead issue, and then we went into the Baroness and CoverGirl story. And at first I thought it was like, oh, it's going to be a one shot with them, or 2-issue arc. And it kind of was, but then Josh Williamson slowly started incorporating other things as it expanded, and then it felt like an actual arc. It's all been fantastic. And kudos to pacing the book in that way, because I think if you read it in a trade format, it's going to work really well. But my God, the way we have ended this year with the Dreadnought War, I don't know if you could have more energy in this book. And the fact that they chose to release it bi-weekly, so you're getting 2 issues a month, whoever's idea that was, give them a raise, chef's kiss. This book has been an absolute blast. I can't wait to see what else they do and where else they take this. Action-packed, fun, creepy, funny in a lot of ways too, because the Dreadnoughts are, I mean, they're backwoods. But yeah, great title. This will go down as Joshua Williamson's best work. It's just that good. So, all right, moving on to number 4. We have Transformers.
Hey!
Drew, I'll let you go ahead and go first with this one.
Yeah, Transformers. So this was a crossover year. We got the ending of one run and the beginning of another, and it had a fantastic ending with DWJ. And Jorge Corona on the art. We got to admit, he did a much better job than we thought he would. He killed it. And I'm going to say it here, I think he was a much better interior artist than the Transformers and DWJ. And I thought every issue was a damn banger, and had a very fun conclusion. And the crossover issues to the next run was really good. This new run, I discussed it with Wes, not so much with you, but it's a good run, but it's a different run. This is a more emotional, introspective run that we're getting here. We can just tell it's a resettling of things, reestablishing things, laying out the groundwork for this new run, and because we know what's coming. We know it's going to be Transformers versus G.I. Joe. But right now, these are the issues laying the foundation for it. And, hey, they've been solid. And that's why if I will say, however, if there had been a little more action in those books, it'd be probably higher on my list. Because the last few issues, they haven't really had that much action. But like I said, much more introspective. But all in all, this year, Transformers had a great run. And you have Dan Moore on the interior art. Jesus, I mean, we've just Transformers has been so damn lucky to have this murderer's row of artists and creatives working on Transformers.
Agreed.
Yep, she's a beauty. The number 4 spot.
Yeah, I will say I'm with you. This new team with Kirkman and Mora, it's good. It's not as good as what we had before. So for me, it's like the flip of what GI Joe was. I think GI Joe was a little, ended the first arc with a bang, kind of slowed down the pace a little bit and ramped up. This was just balls to the wall, kind of going through most of the year, and then it's taking that introspective moment. I'm kind of referring to it as a palate cleanser to get ready for this huge um, crossover that we know is coming. But the 24 issues that are Dana Warren Johnson and Jorge Corona, I cannot stress how good those 24 issues are packaged to tell a complete story that like this is going to become required reading. Like this is something you're going to need to have on your shelf. Like it's not a matter of like if, you just should. And I cannot praise this team enough for one, not only telling a 24 issue story that is as strong as this is, but to end it in a practically nearly perfect way while also still leaving it open ended so the next creative team can come in and take over.
And look, I'm going to pick back on what you're saying here, because I've got the Transformers compendiums, all those issues, volumes 1 and 2. Look, I want people to be honest here. You compare those first 24 issues to these 24 issues, they don't come even close to what we got in these runs. Look, I know people have that look at them with like rose tinted glasses. Just how great those first 24 issues were back in the day. No, they weren't. They were fine.
Yeah.
They were not great. You look at these are pieces of art. And look, I love the IDW, the early IDW stuff. The early stuff was good. When they had like All Hail Megatron was solid. Yep. But ever since then, it went downhill fast. And those last 2 years at IDW, it was a train wreck. And if you can't admit that, if you can't see why they left IDW, you got a problem. And look, these issues are fantastic, and these will go down as some of the best Transformers issues ever.
Agreed. Real quick, we do have Culture Casino coming in with, holy heck, it's Josh McDonald. Holy heck, it's Culture Casino. And Kaiser wants to know, will someone please explain to me why Starscream hesitated at the end of Dana Warren Johnson's story? Hey, maybe we'll find out. We'll find out. Like the story's ongoing. So, and then he's correcting him. No, it's Rocket Josh. He loves Kaiser. I hate you. I love you, but I hate you.
It's tight.
And and Cole Hauser's loving this run too. It's a fantastic run. Go read it.
I tell everyone, like I just said, I've got the compendiums of the previous Marvel run, all those issues. They don't even come close to this run. They don't. Right. You got to be honest here. You look at those. I love Jose Delbo. He's a legendary artist, but he was not meant to draw Transformers. We got to be honest here.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to our number 3 picks. We're coming in with Batman Dark Patterns and Robin and Batman Jason and Todd. Drewski, I talked about Dark Patterns earlier. Go ahead and take it away with this.
So the main Batman run, this was a challenging year because you had Chip Zdarsky's a train wreck of a run come to an end. Yeah. And then we have the Hush run pickup with Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee, which we have to acknowledge that would not have happened if Chip Zdarsky's run was a success. There is no reason that would have happened if his run was good. But because it was a failure, they had to bring them on. And they have not delivered on that run. They are already way behind and probably will never be finished. Shocker. And then we get Matt Fraction on his run, which has been dubious at best. So we got that going on. And me as a Batman fan, I'm left hungry because I want good Batman. Detective Comics, not good from Tom Taylor. And I see Dark Patterns. I'm like, please be good. And imagine my shock. This is the Batman run Batman fans deserve. This is true Batman here. Hayden Sherman was born to draw Batman. His layouts, his page layouts, some of the best creative, dynamic page layouts I've seen since Todd McFarlane on Infinity Inc. back in the day at DC Comics. He is a superstar. And the story by Daniel Waters, these story arcs he's built up with the Clayface apartment complex, the bringing back of the Red Hood, the new fire villain coming in the third arc.
Yep.
I love it all. It is fantastic. It is so brilliantly well told, brilliantly well illustrated. The best Batman has to offer this year of 2025. Everyone needs to read this.
My number 3 pick was Robin and Batman, Jason Todd. I love what Jeff Lemire and Dustin Nguyen are doing with these little 3-issue minis.
I feel like an idiot leaving this off because I completely forgot about this. I was like, son of a bitch.
You're all good. You're all good. Look, this book is fantastic. I love the first one that they did featuring Dick. It was a lot of fun. It captured the essence of Dick Grayson quite well. But this one in particular, really leaning into Jason, leaning into his history, his life with his parents, where they came from. But what I really loved about the series was the father and son aspects. But Bruce looking at Jason, trying to figure out how he can help or fix him. But also the father and son aspect of Alfred and Bruce having conversations of, maybe you can't fix him, just let it go. Maybe you shouldn't. Oh,
I love it. And just how Alfred said, Bruce, this was not a good idea. You were not the right person to help this kid. And this kid is too far damaged. It needs real professional help. And that was great. We haven't really, as far as I know, we hadn't really gotten that before with Jason. And Jeff Lemire told it brilliantly in this miniseries.
And they bring in Wraith as a villain, which I love because he's not a very common character. But he's that character that's there just to be, the anti-type hero, going you need to be a little more extreme, and giving Jason that little push that Jason doesn't need. But man, just the character work here is so freaking good. And the quality that we've had with these first 2 volumes, this are the Dick Grayson and now Jason Todd. I cannot wait to get Tim Drake, and I cannot wait to get Damian Wayne because I know they're coming. But my God, this is so fantastic. Let's see. We've got Frackman is already worse than Zdarsky's run, in my opinion. I don't know about that.
Oh man,
Zdarsky's was trash.
Yes, it was.
Robin and Batman was good, though I like the first series better. The Wynn's watercolor work it's interesting. The first series wasn't linear. This one is linear, so it's 2 different kind of vibes. And then Kaiser, kicking my own ass for not reading Dark Patterns. Yes, you should go read Dark Patterns. What's wrong with you people? It's a limbo low bar. Yep. All right, and then we have some weird tasteful thickness coming in, so I don't know what's going on there. All right, moving into our top 2. So our number 2 pick for 2025, we were coming in with Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell. Drew, I'll let you start off.
One reason why this is so damn high is because Daredevil, another series, much like Batman, has been a train wreck. And when I was told about this series, I had the lowest of expectations, regardless of the fact Steve McNiven was on the art and Charles Soule was up writing it, because Charles Soule, despite what people think, has not been fantastic on his Star Wars stuff. And so I was I'll say the word again, very dubious on in his talent at telling a quality Daredevil story anymore. And once again, imagine my shock. These 2 fucking nailed it. This is the Daredevil story. This is the Dark Knight Returns Daredevil story that we all deserve as Batman fans. This is the Daredevil story that any Daredevil fan is hungry for. The quality story that we all need and want. This is what should be. This is what we should have had all year. And they did it in 3 issues. And I want more of this world that they've set up here. And Steve McNiven, he is such a fantastic artist, and he has changed his style 2 or 3 times, at least twice. He's changed his art style Because you look at where he's drawing now compared to when he did like Civil War, it is completely different. He's got more of a Barry Windsor Smith approach to his stuff now. And hey, I love it. Because I love Barry Windsor Smith's art. So I truly, truly hope that if you're a Daredevil fan, you pick this up, you check this out, and then you thank us afterwards, because you will not regret it. These 3 issues, this world, this future he set up, it is a banger. And all the credit in the world, it is just that damn good to be at my number 2.
Yep. I will say this is definitely Marvel's The Dark Knight Returns, but featuring Daredevil and Charles Soule. His Daredevil one was okay to good at times, and that had me uncertain about this. But my God, these 3 issues and their oversized issues are a masterclass of writing comics. And Steve McNiven carries a ton of the weight here. Charles Soule lets his art breathe and do a lot of the storytelling. But I feel like you could take this book and dissect it and study it, and you're going to gain an understanding of how to do comics the right way. It is that good. From a technical standpoint, from a story standpoint, from a character standpoint, everything lands for me. And I kept waiting for the other shoe to drop. I kept waiting for that moment that's going to come along. It was like, that's where it missed. But it didn't. Like Daredevil in this future world, they made it work. The fact that he's had lost his powers and they come back temporarily, but he's losing them again, made it work. Elektra, the best we've seen Elektra in a long time, and she's only there for a hot second. The scene that he has with Foggy is so perfectly written. I'm getting chill bumps thinking about it. And then the way that they utilize Bullseye and how crazy he is, the way they use Frank and how unhinged he is, and then the ending for me, that's what really sealed the deal. Because I was like, there's no way they're going to end the story in a way that justifies what's coming these first 2 issues. And they did. They captured exactly what it means to be a hero. And the fact that they did that so well, I can't say enough about the praise that this book deserves, the accolades that this book deserves. Like, this should have been a book that was up for what are those joke awards now that we do every year at San Diego Comic-Con? The
Eisners.
Eisners, yeah. If they weren't a joke, this book would have been up there for multiple awards. But Bullseye is most sadistic. It's just, this is A class stuff. So please go read this, and then tell other people to read it. Buy it for them. Why not? Drewski, you ready for number 1?
Here we go.
I think you might give me shit for mine, but it's okay. Coming in for number 1, our number 1 picks for 2025 are G.I. Joe and Escape. So I will let you talk to you. Actually, I'll go with Escape first, and I'll let you end with G.I. Joe. I picked Escape. I plan on having Escape on my list, but I will say it's these last 2 issues for me that have really, really sealed the deal for me. The character work that they do in the conversations that these characters have about war and what's needed, what's required of them. It's so good, but it's the fact that our protagonist here, our lead hero, has this whole thing where he just admits, like, I don't have dreams of returning home because I know I'm not going to return home. I am ignoring my wife's letters because I know she's pregnant and she had a kid, and I don't even want to know my kid's name because the moment I do, it's real. And I can't have this be real, because if it's real, I'm not going to finish my mission. Once we start getting into all that and that kind of detail and that kind of characterization, I was sold. It's a beautiful book. It looks good. You've got what do you call it? Anthropomorphic people, which that's the debate that Drew and I have about this book. But it starts off as like, yeah, okay, it's a story. It's a war story, kind of been there, done that. And it's shifted to a characterization that's done so well and written so well by Rick Remender that it just took that top spot for me. And I can't wait to see what he does continuing forward, because it's been action-packed. It's been suspenseful. There's a lot of tension. But there are so many characters on both sides now that you just see them as human beings and what they're going through in their life, that I think there's a good message here that more people could stand to read, especially with everything going on in the world these days. But Drew, G.I. Joe, let's end it with the banger.
how should I say this? Joshua Williamson, he is a fascinating writer because what he's doing at DC, for the most part, I do not care for. Superman's been good. It's gotten better from where it was when it initially launched. When it initially launched, I was scratching my head like, what the hell am I reading? But it has gotten better. His Nightmare Run miniseries event sucked ass. His DC Crisis on multiple houses of Secret Earths, infinity discs sucked ass. So I'm just like, this is a guy I think is just going to be a joke. But his G.I. Joe run has been nothing short of perfection, in my opinion. It's given me the action, the horror, the comedy, the world building, the solid art, in what a comic book should be, and what a superhero book should be. And honestly, I for a long time I had G.I. Joe Real American Hero above this, but this Dreadnought War, holy crap! This has been, like I've said before, I'll say it again. It has been a Quentin Tarantino, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Mad Max event on crack, and it has been a wild, unpredictable ride each issue, and I couldn't be happier for it. And every single week, G.I. Joe comes out. It is the first book I go for on the rack because every issue is quality. And Tom Riley, he has gone so far up my notch of artists. This is the best work of his career. And the last two issues, I would love to have OA for I'd love to have OA up. And I cannot wait to see what he's got coming up in the subsequent issues. G.I. Joe represents the best of 2025, in my opinion.
Yeah. It's been a banger of a book, and the year ended on such a high with where this was in its storytelling at the end of the year. Great pick. Look, I had a lot of fun tonight. I know it's late, so I don't want to let you get to bed, but how bad do you think we're going to get slaughtered for one, not having Absolute Batman in our list, and for two, not having a single Denise Camp book?
Yeah, no Denise Camp. It's just one thing I've learned about him and his fans, it's that people think because they don't understand it or don't comprehend what's going on, they think it's just that far above them.
Yeah.
And logic that because I don't understand it's just that good. No, you don't understand it because it's just that bad. It's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. And that's where Denise Camp stands with his writing. And I will never, as far as I'm concerned, I probably will never recommend a book of his.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. I kept getting you just don't understand when discussing what was that World Crisis events or whatever it is. And I'm like, no, it's heavy-handed and it's not as deep as you think it is.
Yeah,
but
the first thing that comes to mind, I wish you had the skit. It's from the movie Dewey Cox. It's when he's acting like Bob Dylan. He's singing these lyrics. The mouse with the overbite in the cafeteria, and like his band member's like, what the fuck is he singing about? And Tim Meadows is like, you don't understand it, man. He's deep right now. And it's like, no, this shit doesn't make any sense.
Nope. I'm tempted to go spam the Denise Camp fans to be like, it was Dennis Camp's year. Check out our top 25 comics of 2025.
Please do.
Get all of them to watch it, only for there not to be an issue there. Yeah. Anyways, it is late. I've kept Drew 20 minutes past what I'm supposed to, so we are going to wrap up the stream. Drew, if people want to find you, where can they find you?
You can find me on Wes's channel, Thinking Critical, on Friday night and Saturday this week because we're launching Bloody Echoes #1 on Kickstarter. sign up today to be notified when we go live. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook, Dolan Waddick. Instagram, Dolan_Waddick. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Friday, hopefully.
Heck yes. We will be here Thursday for Floppy Drop. Hopefully this week is a better week than the past 2 weeks. Other than that, follow us at @ByPopped on X or at Joshua L. McDonald on X if you want to follow me directly. And then Instagram is JoshWorks903. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Make sure after the video is done, like it, go comment after the live is done. Let us know what your favorites were. Let us know what we should have read or what we missed so we can add it to our rotation. But thanks for hanging out. It was a lot of fun. Always a good time chatting with you guys to discuss comics. And I hope y'all have a terrific night, and we'll see you Thursday.